Hello, Cougar Nation, and welcome to a beautiful Saturday here in River Forest at the Concordia softball field for a NAC matchup. It's your Concordia Chicago Cougars taking on the visiting Wisconsin Lutheran Warriors as these two teams head into the final stretch of the conference season. Concordia Chicago having an outstanding season so far. They're one of those four teams that have really started to separate themselves towards the top of the pack. Wisconsin Lutheran, they've had a tough year. They come into today on a 4-game conference losing streak, 4-12 in NAC play on the year. The Warriors have struggled. The Cougars have not throughout conference play. In their last 4 conference games, they've gone 2-2. They're most recently coming off of a loss to Lakeland, but before that, this Cougars team, 9-game win streak before finally losing to MSOE. This is a team that has not been swept in a doubleheader yet this conference season. They look to continue that and hopefully pick up a sweep here at home against Wisconsin Lutheran as the Warriors come into today looking to get back on track. The Cougars, it's been a minute since they've been in the win column as well. Their last 3 games, lost to Lakeland, and then their final non-con matchup of the season, a doubleheader yesterday against Lake Forest, lost that first game in 5-6 innings, and then the second game ending in a 7-7 tie. So the Cougars coming off of a tie against Lake Forest. Wisconsin Lutheran on a 4-game conference losing streak as they come into the suburbs of Chicago, looking to get back on the right side of the win column. And it'll be Maddie Heller to lead things off for the Warriors to try and get that going. She lays down a bunt right in front of home plate. And that's fired over to first by Jess Gang for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out for Alyssa Lopez. Alyssa Lopez making her second start of her career for the Cougars. The freshman operating mostly as a reliever this season. 21 innings pitched through 13 appearances. Has a 5.33 ERA. Most of that owing to a 5-run earned run allowed outing against Carthage earlier in the year. She's been very solid, not giving up usually more than a run in any of her other appearances this season. Her one start earlier this year against Rockford went 4 innings pitched, only gave up 1 run through those 4 innings. Looking to have a similar outcome here today as she already has 2 quick outs to start off the game. Is now Alea Anhalt up to the plate. A 1 pitch just outside for ball 1. And Anhalt fouls that off above the home dugout, makes it a 1-2 count for the sophomore out of Fond du Lac. Lopez 5 pitches into this outing. 1-2 pitch on the way. Fouled back. Anhalt stays alive. On the season, Anhalt has been the best hitter for this Wisconsin Lutheran squad by far. She's started all 25 games she's played in this year. She has a .425 average as she takes that off the plate for ball 1, hitting .425 on the year, getting on base at a .460 percentage, slugging .688. She hits extra bases better than anyone else on this roster. 2 homers, 3 triples, and 9 doubles on the year for Anhalt as she takes a 2-2, fouls it back. So she'll continue to stay alive. 3rd foul ball this at bat. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. In the top of the first, Alyssa Lopez trying to get through this first inning in 1-2-3. Anhalt trying to get something going with 2 outs. Here's the 2-2. Fouled off again. Lopez, she's got a ball to throw. Anhalt's really grinding out this at bat, hoping that either Lopez will eventually walk her or give her something to hit. Here's the 2-2 again, and that's high, so now it's a full count. Lopez had to go out of the zone at some point, see if she can get Enholt to chase. Can't there. So now she'll step back into the box with a full count. Lopez fires. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Lopez gets her going. And it's a 1-2-3 inning for WLC to start off the day. We head to the bottom of the first. 3 up, 3 down. Cougars coming up to bat right after this break. And we're back, bottom of the first. Cougars coming up to bat for the first time today. Keaton Rank on the mound for Wisconsin Lutheran, the freshman out of Madison, Wisconsin. Rank on the year. 14 games started, more than any other player on this roster. 52 2/3 inning pitch to a 5.32 ERA. And she fires that first pitch in for a strike. 0-1 count on the leadoff man for the Cougars, Emily Garcia. She leads off for the Cougars. It's Arissa Santos on deck. Jess Gang in the hole to start the day for the Cougs. Rank fires the 0-1. That's low for ball one. Rest of your starting lineup for the Cougs. Batting fourth, Maya Lorenas. Batting fifth, Michaela Morris. Batting sixth, Alyssa Campos. Batting seventh, Ash Stroll. Batting eighth, Eden Pufall. And batting at ninth, Lindley Southern. 1-1 pitch is grounded up the middle for a base hit. Leadoff knock for Emily Garcia. She takes her place at first. And it's a man on, no outs for the Cougs as Arissa Santos comes up to the plate. Arissa Santos having a decent year for the Cougars. .271 batting average. Started as many games as anyone for Concordia. 31 games played, 31 games started. Getting on base for .358 as she bunts that foul down the third baseline. So it's an 0-1 count on Santos. Now this is a Cougars team that does not slug much, especially when it comes to getting over the fence, but Arissa Santos is the one player on the Cougars who does that better than the rest. 3 homers on the year for Santos as that pitch from Rank is high for ball one. One pitch. Rank steps, fires. That's low, 2-1 count. To 1 pitch now. Rank steps, fires. That's high, ball 3. Rank on the year, she's walked 17, struck out 33. Where she struggles most is her opponent batting average. She's allowing a .361 batting average on the year. .3-1 pitch now. And that is in the zone for a strike. Stolen base. Friendly Garcia went going throw in time, but a bit high. Gaston can't get the tag down quick enough. It's a full count, but the Cougars have a man at second. 3-2 pitch. Fired in. That's up the middle. Off of Rank. She's over. Can she get it to first in time? It's dropped. If Malecki could reel that in, that would have been it out. Instead, it's runners at the corners and no outs to start the day for the Cougs. And we already have our first mound visit of the day. Head coach James Flagel headed out to the mound for a talk with his infield. It looks like they're trying to check out Keaton Rank's ankle. That was a hard grounder right at the feet of Rank, and it looks like she might have taken a hit on that one, walking around a little bit, trying to get a feel for it. So Santos has not scored as a throwing error. Throwing error on Keaton Rank. But the result's the same as a hit. Runners on first and third for Concordia. No outs for Jess Gang, who is slugging better than anyone else on this Cougars team. And that comes from her doubles, 13 doubles. She's way up in the knack in that category. That pitch in for a strike to start off Gang's at bat. A 1 count on Gang. Rank steps back, winds, fires. Gang holds on that pitch low and out for ball 1. 1-1 count. Rank fires. That's off the plate for a ball. Throw down to third, not in time. They're trying to catch Garcia napping while Santos stole second. So it's a stolen base for the Cougars. That makes it runners at second and third. No outs. And Gang grounds that to second. And that stolen base is going to be huge for Concordia. What likely could have been a double play is instead 1 out. And Gang drives in the first run of the day. Cougars up 1-0. Santos advances to third. And that brings up to the plate Maya Lorenas. Lorenas, one of the best contact hitters on this squad, hitting .353 on the year for the Cougs. First pitch for ball, 1-0 count. Rank fires. That's well inside, ball 2. 2-0 count. Rank fires. That's inside again. 3-0 count on Lorenas. 3 balls, no strikes, 1 out. Rank gets her grip, steps back, fires, and she fires that right down the middle for a strike. 3-1 count. And that catches the outside corner. Ranks worked her way back into a full count. It's 3-2 on Lorenas. Trying to tack on some more damage in the first. Santos still over at third. Rank winds, fires, and swing and a miss. Lorenas chops at a ball inside. First strikeout of the day for Rank. And the Cougars, with 2 outs and a man on third, have Mikyler Morris coming up to the plate. First pitch to Morris is high for ball 1. Oh, 1 pitch. That's grounded over to short. Gaston charging, can't field it cleanly. Second error of the inning for Wisconsin Lutheran. Morris drives in a run, and the Cougars up 2-0 now. First pitch to Alyssa Campos is in for a strike. Campos on the year hitting .245. As that pitch is in the dirt, and it hit her. Campos gets tagged, so that boot takes her to first. Morris over to second. And so some sloppy softball in the bottom of the first for WLC. 2 errors, now a hit by pitch. Puts runners on first and second with 2 outs for Ash Schroll. First pitch to Schroll in for a strike. Schroll on the year has done her best work on the mound. At the plate, she's hitting .241 through 58 at-bats, .276 slugging, getting on base at that same .254 percentage. And she'll get on base here. It's a knock into left field. Morris charging home, throw in, just a bit late. And it's an RBI single for Ash Schroll. Make it 3-0, Concordia, Chicago. Just a beautiful knock looped into short left field. Solid contact. Not too much on it to send it out to the left fielder, and the Cougars up 3-0. That pitch in for a strike. Eden Pufall stepping up to the plate for the Cougs. Now Pufall, another one of those Cougars. She has done her best work and most of her work on the mound for Concordia Chicago this year. This is just her 10th at-bat of the season for the Cougs. She has 2 hits through her first 9 this season. Now she takes that pitch for a ball. It's 1-1 pitch. Pufall, short grounder down the third baseline. Throw to first in time. WLC able to field that one. And that gets them out of the inning. Cougars strand runners at first and second, but they drive in 3. Concordia Chicago, an early 3-0 lead over Wisconsin Lutheran Warriors. They'll look to clap back in the top of the second right after this break. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. It's the top of the second here in River Forest. And Wisconsin Lutheran already trailing 3-0. The Cougars doing some work in the bottom of the first. Now the Warriors will have to respond with Kylie Gaston up to the plate. Gaston, one of those starting shortstop today for Wisconsin Lutheran. One of those two players that had an error accredited to her in that first inning. And Gaston takes that pitch on the edge for a strike. Some nice off speed from Lopez, who is showing some great command to start her day. And Gaston fouls that back, keeps it an 0-2 count. And the freshman out of Albertville, Minnesota. She has had a very solid year for Wisconsin Lutheran. Started all 30 games this year, hitting .330, slugging .473. But she pops that to third. Campos is there to make the play. It's a foul out for Gaston, and that's out number 1. One out, and that brings Gwen Malecki up to the plate for Wisconsin Lutheran. And that's a quick out, one pitch. And it's a soft pop-up straight to second base. Santos there to make the play. That's 2 outs in the top of the second. Now Summer Crawl up to the plate for Wisconsin Lutheran. And she does not go first pitch swinging. Hangs back, takes that first pitch for a strike. A 1 pitch. And that's lifted right field, right center for Michaela Morris. 3 flyouts on the inning for Wisconsin Lutheran. 3 up, 3 down again for Alyssa Lopez, who is having a great day on the mound. We head to the bottom of the second. Cougars up 3-0. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Bottom of the second for Concordia Chicago, who are out to an early 3-0 lead. Skating Rank back out for another inning of work for WLC on the mound. Lindley Southern stepping up to the plate for the Cougs. And Southern, her first year of regular playing time for this squad. And one of the best offensive moments of her career in the last week. Picked up her first career home run as she takes that first pitch for a strike. A 1 pitch, and Southern into right field. Play is made in right field. Diving Olivia Creaser steals a hit from Lindley Southern, and that's out number 1.
Now batting number 22, Emily Garcia.
With 1 out, Emily Garcia back up to the plate. Garcia started everything off in the bottom of the first with a single up the middle, and she comes out swinging and fouls the first pitch off this at-bat. Garcia really had a breakout year in her first year with the Cougars. 408 batting average, leads the team, getting on base at a 484, and she can get extra bases too, as that's a fair ball down the third baseline. Garcia rounding first, thinks better of it, heads back to second, but it's another knock for Emily Garcia. Powers got a glove on it, couldn't block it, and it made it into the short outfield. So Garcia gets the job done. Runner on first, one out for Arissa Santos. Forced an error her last time up. And she takes that pitch in the zone for a strike. Oh, 1 count on Santos. Rank winds, fires. And that's a bunt laid down the third baseline. They field it. Throw nearly pulls Malecki off the bag. That was a risky play for Allie Powers. That ball was pretty positively going foul. She chose to try to make the play, and she gets it done by the skin of her teeth. Out number 2, Garcia over to second for Jess Gang. Gang takes first pitch one for a strike. You'll see that a lot out of this Cougar team. A lot of bunting, a lot of short hits. We already mentioned this is not a team that hits the ball out of the park. They manufacture runs. Singles, doubles, the occasional triple. They find a way to put numbers up on the board, and they have done it excellently this season. 1-1 pitched low for ball 2. Got action in the bullpen for Wisconsin Lutheran. Two 1 count, pitch on the way, and Gang hard grounder foul to the Wisconsin Lutheran dugout. Two balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 22 at second. Number 22 on the mound. Number 12 at the plate. A lot of 2s right now. Rank fires. Gang fouls it off. Keeps it at a 2-2 count. Stays at a 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 pitch. And Gang flies that into short left field. Martinez settling, makes the play for out number 3. Cougars strand a runner at third. It stays 3-0. Concordia Chicago on top as we head to the top of the third. Wisconsin Lutheran coming back up to the plate. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Top of the third here in River Forest, Wisconsin Lutheran. Still scoreless, still hitless, still runnerless. As their seventh batter of the day, Maritza Martinez comes up to the plate. Maritza Martinez, before she even takes her first pitch, we got a timeout. Lopez fires, grounded over to third. Campos to Lorenas for out number one. Another one pitch, one out for Alyssa Lopez. And one of those at-bats was nearly a 10-pitch at-bat. Outside of that, she has been beyond efficient on the mound today. Quick out number one. That brings up Allie Powers. Powers takes that first pitch for a ball. On the season, Powers hitting .247, getting on base .345, slugging .288. She takes that second pitch for another ball. 2-0 count. Lopez fires that in. And that catches his own, off speeds in for a strike. I 2-1 count. That's low, ball three. Least favorable count Lopez has had all day. And here comes a 3-1. That's grounded up to the mound. Lopez can't field it cleanly. And that's the first base runner of the day for the Warriors. Lopez couldn't field it cleanly as it was hopping on the dirt in front of her. So the one out in the top of the third. Wisconsin Lutheran has a runner on. Still hitless. That scored as an error. So with a runner on first, one out, Amara Martinez, the sophomore out of Freeport, Texas, coming up to the plate. Lopez fires that one in for a strike. Oh, here's the 0-1 pitch. And that's chopped over to first. Lorenas can't field it cleanly. It's another misplayed ground ball by the Cougars. So 2 consecutive errors.
Now batting number 4, Maddie Heller.
So it's runners at first and second. No outs, 1 out, still no hits, and that's a bunt laid down foul by Maddie Heller. Alyssa Lopez still yet to allow a hit. One of those errors was her own. The other tagged on Lorenas, but still a good day out on the mound. 0-1 count on Heller. Lopez fires. Heller pops that just out of the reach of Gang. Awkward swing from Heller, and she finds herself in an 0-2 hole. Stays in an 0-2 count. That's popped. It's foul down the first baseline. Heller taking running swings, but with an awkward form. Not a form you usually see when someone goes for a running swing. Very, very slow bat through the zone right now. It's contributing to awkwardly hit balls. 0-2 count on Heller. Another one, an ugly swing and a miss, and just a bit of an ugly at-bat for Maddie Heller. Sends her back to the dugout. So 2 outs and runners at first and second. Olivia Creaser coming up to the plate for Wisconsin Lutheran. Creaser popped out to short her last time up. This time she'll foul it off to start the at-bat. Oh, 1 count on Creaser. Pitch on the way. Takes it outside, ball 1. One 1 pitch. High, ball 2. Two 1 count. That's fouled back, strike 2. So it's a 2-2 count on Krieger. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on. Pitch on the way. Fouled again. Creaser fighting to stay alive. So Lopez fires again. Another foul grounder for Creaser. Anhalt, who had the long at-bat in the first. Creaser with a long at-bat in the third. Staying at a 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Fouled again. That one high out of the zone. Creaser swinging. Creaser making contact. 4 straight foul balls for Creaser. Doesn't have a called strike in the zone. Doesn't have a swinging strike this at bat. Every strike is coming from a foul ball. She is making contact. She has been unable to straighten it out all 5 times she's made contact. Here's a 2-2 again. This time it's lifted into the outfield. Morris settling under it to make the play. The Warriors strand 2 on, but they stay hitless through 3. Alyssa Lopez dealing on the mound for the Cougars. We head to the bottom of the third. Concordia Chicago still on top, 3-0. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. The bottom of the third, Concordia Chicago is still on top, 3-0. Maya Lorenas leading off the inning for the Cougs. That's outside for a ball. Keaton Rank out for another inning of work for the Warriors. 1-0 count on Lorenz. Rank steps, fires. That's a way inside ball, too. 2-0 count on the batter. Rank fires again. That's in the zone for a strike. 2-1 count. One pitch. That's outside again. Ball 3. Lorenz, she swung the bat once in the 10 pitches she's faced today, and it was a swinging third strike. Kept it on her shoulder every other pitch, and this time she swings, grounded over towards third and short. Gaston can't field it cleanly. And Lorenz safe at first. Another leadoff runner on for Concordia, Chicago. Nia Lorenz over at the bag. So now Kyler Morris up to the plate. Morris reached base safely on an error to Gaston. And she takes that first pitch low for a ball. One 1-0 count on Morris. 1-0 pitch on the way. Morris grounded over to third, not fielded cleanly by Powers, and the throw's not in time. Wisconsin Lutheran, a victim of some bad infield defense today. Third infield error so far for the Warriors. That's an easy grounder over to third. You just got to have. Now runners at first and second for Alyssa Campos, who takes that first pitch for a strike. Campos hit by a pitcher last time up at the plate. Oh, 0-1 count, 0-1 pitch on the way. Swing and a miss way out in front of that pitch. Oh, 2 count. Runners at first and second. Still no outs for the Cougs in the bottom of the third. Rank winds. Fires. High, ball 1. So it's a 1-2 count on Campos. Rank fires again. Campos grounded over to third. Powers fields it cleanly this time. Takes it over to third base herself to take out the lead runner. It's a fielder's choice for Campos. So it's an out, 1 out. Runners still at first and second for the Cougs. First pitch to Schroll. Out for a ball. Schroll, an RBI single into left field her last time up at the plate. It's a 1-0 count on Schroll. Rank winds, fires. Schroll takes that in the zone for a strike. One pitch. Schroll. Hard grounder to second. They'll go to first for 1. So it's another ground out. So 2 outs, but she advances both lead runners. Campos at second. Morris at third for Eden Pufall, who comes up to the plate. Pufall grounded out to third her last time up. And she takes that on the outside edge for a strike. A 1 count for Pufall. Rank winds, fires again, and she lost her grip on that pitch, easily in the dirt for ball 1. Staying at a 1-1 count. Rank winds, fires, and another foul grounder for Pufall makes it 1-2. One-two count. Rank fires, Pufall checks her swing. Ball 2 for Pufall. Two-two count now. Runners at second and third, 2 outs. Rank fires. Catches his own. Strikeout looking for Pufall. Rank gets out of the inning. No runs allowed after allowing the first 2 on. Works out of the jam. We head to the top of the 4th. Still 3-0 Concordia on top. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Aaliyah Enhalt stepping up to the plate to lead off the inning. She flies that to right. Plays made by Schroll for out number 1. 1 pitch, 1 out. We said that a lot with Alyssa Lopez so far today. Now Kylie Gaston up to the plate for the second time. Gaston flew out to third her last time up. She takes that first pitch for a ball. One-zero pitch to Gaston. Grounder to short. Santos over to first for out number 2.
Now batting number 41, Gwen Malecki.
Gwen Malecki now up to the plate for the Warriors. Malecki flew out to second her last time up. Malecki gets tagged on the shins with that one. First hit batter of the day for Lopez. So Summer Crawl up to the plate with a runner at first, 2 outs. Crawl flew out to short to right center her last time up. Lopez winds, fires, Crawl. Foul ball down the third base line, inches away from the first hit of the day. 0-1 count on crawl. Runner at first, 2 outs. Lopez, 43 pitches thrown today. That's lifted into left field. A base hit for Summer Crawl. First hit of the day for the Warriors. They finally get something down. That puts runners at first and second with 2 outs.
Now batting number 12, Maritza Martinez.
Took 11 outs before Wisconsin Lutheran was able to get their first hit. A great outing on the mound for Alyssa Lopez. And Maritza Martinez will take that first pitch for a strike. Martinez takes that pitch in the dirt for ball 1. 1-1 count on Martinez. And it's another foul ball for Martinez off of her feet. She's going to take a minute to walk that one off. Get her feel again before she steps back into the box. 1-2 count right now. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Wisconsin Lutheran still looking for their first run of the day. One-two pitch on the way. That's flown into left field. Southern under it to make the play. That's out number 3. Wisconsin Lutheran gets their first hit of the day, but they still are scoreless through 4. Alyssa Lopez stays dealing on the mound. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Cougs still on top, 3-0. Welcome back to the Cougar Sports Network. Lily Southern leading off the inning for the Cougs. Lined out to right her last time up. Cougars put on 3 in the first. Haven't put anything on the board since, and Southern takes that high for ball 1. One 0 count on Southern. Keaton Rank winds, fires, and Southern lifts that towards short left. That's down for a base hit, a blooper. And Lindley Southern, her first hit of the day. Leadoff man on for the Cougars again.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 22, Emily Garcia.
The runner on first, no outs. Emily Garcia up to the plate for the Cougs. Garcia 2 for 2 on the day. I'm going to tack on another hit as she takes that first pitch low for a ball. One 0 count on Garcia. Rank winds, Fires. That's grounded foul. So it'll be a 1-1 count on Southern. One pitch on the way. That's high, ball 2. One count on 1-2 count on Garcia. That's off the plate, ball 2. Two count on Emily Garcia. Hard grounder on the third baseline. And if you're following college football, the story of the draft has been Shador Sanders finally getting drafted in the 5th round. So big news elsewhere in college sports with that one. Cleveland Browns taking their 2nd quarterback of the draft. But Emily Garcia looking to pick up her 3rd hit of the day. And she lifts that to left field. That's gone! Home run, Emily Garcia. That went up and it wasn't coming back down. A 2-run dinger for Garcia. And the Cougs are up 5-0. The 3rd hit of the day for Garcia, and it's a big one. Emily Garcia, have yourself a day. 3 for 3 with a 2-run dinger, and with a 5-0 lead. That'll bring Arissa Santos up to the plate. Rank fires. Santos, a base hit in the left field. They're going to send her for 2. That pit play was misfielded. And Arissa Santos, base hit in the left field, an error lets her advance to 2nd. And Concordia Chicago piling it on in the bottom of the 4th. It's actually the 1st hit of the day for Santos. Her last time she reached base was an error. Oh, 1 count on Gang. Gang grounded out her last time up. Takes that outside, 1-1. One pitch. Gang fouls it off, makes it 1-2. One-two pitch. Gang fouls that off again. Stays alive. One-two pitch. Gang crushes that one over past Grace Lutheran Church down the third baseline. Straighten that thing out. That thing is gone. Stays a 1-2 count on Gang. And now she'll lift that into center field. Heller is there to make the play. They'll hold Santos at 2nd. 1 out. And still a runner on second for Milo Reynes. Rank winds, fires. That's outside, ball 1. 1-0 count. Rank winds, fires. One count. A ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Rank fires, and she hits her. Another batter tagged by Rank Lorenas. Heads to first. That's runners at first and second for Mikyler Morris. Morris, 0 for 2 on the day. But she's reached base every time she's been at the plate, both of those resulting in errors. Rank fires Morris. Fouls on the third baseline. A 1 count on Morris. Rank coming back for a call. Here's the 0-1 pitch from Rank. That's outside for ball 1. One count. Rank steps back, fires. That catches the outside edge. Strike 2. One-two pitch now on the way. That's a low, ball 2. Two count. Rank sets, fires. Morris foul tips it. Barely staying alive. Morris getting lucky with that one. 2-2 count. Here's the 2-2 pitch. Morris. Hard hit over to short, under the glove of Gaston. That'll score Santos. Lorenas on her way to third. And it's a double for Mikyler Morris. Hard grounder pass short. And the Cougs now up 6-0. And it looks like we've got some white smoke from the bullpen. Pitching change for Wisconsin Lutheran. It's a new face on the mound. Keaton Rank out of the game, into the game for the Warriors is Emily Brands. So Brands finishes getting warmed up. We'll take a short break here at the Cougar Sports Network. We'll be back in just a moment. And we are back in the bottom of the fourth. That's lifted into right field by Campos. Play made by Creaser. So quick one pitch, one out for Brands.
Now batting for the Cougars, number 26, Ash Stroll.
So it stays runners at second and third for Ash Schroll. Schroll 1 for 2 on the day. Takes that first pitch in the dirt for ball one. One-0 count, 1-0 pitch. Schroll grounded over to short. Another error from Kylie Gaston. Morris going home. And the Cougs score two. And Kylie Gaston's nightmare day at short continues. It's another error and 2 more runs score for the Cougs.
Pinch hitting for the Cougars, number 9, Emmy Lucero.
And we do have a pinch hitter for the Cougars. Emmy Lucero coming up to the plate for Concordia in Chicago in place of Eden Pufall. And with those 2 runs scoring, it makes it an 8-0 game. Cougs in front. So once we get through this inning, we'll be at that point the Warriors have to bring the gap to 7 or lower to keep this game going. We are at that mercy rule point. And with that error, we have a sub for the Warriors on the infield. Kylie Gaston out of the game, into the game now. 21, Natalie Sanchez. Wisconsin Lutheran trying to salvage this as they trail by 8 in the bottom of the fourth. Brands fires to Lucero, and it's outside for ball one. The 1-0 pitch in there. Strike 2. That pitch low for a ball. One-two count. Brands fires. It's outside. 2-2 count on Lucero. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Brands fires. And Lucero into left field. Barely got out of the infield. Was knocked down by Powers. Would have been a tough play for Powers to make. It was a nice play to keep it even close to the infield. So it's a base hit for Emmy Lucero. Puts runners at first and second for Lindley Southern. Southern 1 for 2 on the day. She started this inning off with a single to left field. The Cougars They've batted around as Southern stepping back in with an 0-1 count already. Swings, fouls it off to make it 0-2. Count for Southern. Brands fires. Southern pops it up to third. Plays made by Powers. The Warriors, they get out of it, but not before they give up 5, and they are already down to their last 3 outs. It's 8-0 Concordia Chicago as we head to the top of the 5th. We are back for the bottom of the 5th. Cougars with a chance to end it here if they can keep the Warriors scoreless, and they've got Megan Buska out on the mound to get the job done. Buska has been effective for the Cougars. 15 appearances, 34 innings pitched, 27 earned runs allowed, a 5.56 ERA. She works well in this relief position, but that first pitch is a ball. And now she fires it in for a strike. 1-1 count on Powers. Buska gets her grip. Fires. Powers lifts that towards left field. Southern under it for out number 1. 2 away.
Now batting number 1, Amara Martinez.
Amara Martinez up to the plate for the Warriors. The sophomore out of Texas reached base on an error her last time up. She takes that first pitch for a strike. Oh, 1 count. Buska fires, grounded over to third. Campos to first. Out number 2. And with that, the Cougars are 1 out away from winning this game. It's Maddie Heller up to the plate to try and keep the Warriors alive. Pitch on the way, Heller, slap hit over to second. Shoveled Lorenas for out number 3, and that does it. Eight nothing. Your final score in game 1. Cougs on top. They roll past Wisconsin Lutheran after a big 5-run 4th inning. Emily Garcia, a big day for Concordia. 3 hits, one of them a 2-run dinger out into left field. And Concordia Chicago dominant in game 1 versus Wisconsin Lutheran. The Warriors, they'll try to rebound as they look ahead to game 2, and so do the Cougars. And we'll have that game 2 of today's doubleheader here on the Cougar Sports Network. Your final score for game 1, Concordia Chicago 8, Wisconsin Lutheran nothing.
Thank you so much for tuning in to today's Concordia University Chicago Cougars Athletics broadcast. We hope to see you on campus very soon. If you would like to learn more about what Concordia Chicago has to offer, go to cuchicago.edu.